The next section is understanding altcoins. So altcoins are interesting because a lot of people see them and they look very attractive, but for the most part, should we invest in them? Well, altcoins are short for alternative coins, okay? And they're basically cryptos that are different to Bitcoin, but they're used for very similar purposes. But sometimes they have different features or use cases. Some popular altcoins would be Ethereum, which is the second most popular coin. I don't really even see Ethereum as an altcoin because it's such a good investment opportunity in my personal opinion. Then we have Litecoin, which is LTC, which is designed to be faster than Bitcoin. We have Bitcoin Cash, which is BCH. This is basically what's known as a fork of Bitcoin, so a project based on Bitcoin, which is being created to improve scalability issues existent in the Bitcoin system, and it increases the block size limit on the blockchain. So it's designed as a more efficient, better version of Bitcoin, okay? Then we have Cardano, which has smart contracts and DeFi support just like Ethereum does, so there's obviously the utility behind it. This may not really mean much to you if you're a beginner, it may not make any sense, but it's just an example of some of the popular altcoins out there and why they're actually good or bad. So based on this information, are altcoins actually worth investing in at all, and when should you invest in them? So altcoins are dependent on a multitude of different factors, right? Especially their market conditions. So some offer different utility features and different transaction times or functions, but they can be riskier and they have much higher volatility than the main two coins. Most altcoins, other to those that I mentioned previously as the examples, are typically prone to being likely scam projects. So the ones that I mentioned before are not scams. They're proven projects over time that people trust in, but a lot of altcoins and new projects are scams, okay? Altcoins are prone to being scam and fraud projects because they're created by teams or individuals in order to profit usually. So they use marketing to create hype behind their altcoins to get people to buy into them. So popular social media influencers and YouTubers sometimes push these scam projects. I'm not going to name any names, but you probably know of some. The influencers basically push them, and the creators behind the scenes are participating in what's called insider trading. Okay, so that's where they have insider knowledge on where things are going to go. So basically they sell their supply when it hits the peak, and they know they're going to do that, and then it crashes. So let's say I got a popular influencer, let's just say the most popular YouTuber, to promote my coin. When it hits the peak after they've done their marketing, I sell all my coins, make a huge profit, the coin goes to zero, and then everyone else who invests in it basically loses all the money. That's how a lot of these altcoins work and why a lot of people lose the money, okay? The creators and inside team, via inside trading, they manipulate the whole process by selling the whole supply when it hits the peak. This is called a pump and dump or a rug pull, and basically the creators artificially increase the price through the marketing and hype, and they sell to make a huge profit. Then it crashes the value of the coin, they abandon the project, everyone else loses out, apart from the people who made it, who make a really healthy bag of money. So that basically lets them profit, and the majority of holders suffer and they make huge losses. Okay, so this is why you should avoid altcoins entirely. It doesn't matter which influencer's pushing it or who's promoting it, your money's on the line and you'll lose a lot of money in most cases. Now, it's important not to fall victim to these scams. Many influencers have been exposed for pushing these types of scams, and they're basically driven solely on profit, and they have a false pretense of being for the community, and they're usually just huge big scams. So don't fall victim to one of these scams. It doesn't matter if they're promising you big wins or if they have a cool project idea, it probably will go down the gutter and they'll steal your money. Even if you're being overly pessimistic or cynical, it's best to do that in the space. So let's talk about investing in altcoins. So if you do actually happen to find a legitimate altcoin project or decide to invest in one of the major main altcoins, which I gave examples for in the beginning, ones that aren't actually scams, then it can be potentially lucrative investment opportunities to do so. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, all those projects I mentioned, those projects have been going on for years. They're the most popular cryptocurrencies. You can check them on Google. I have no links to them whatsoever. Those coins have been going for absolutely many years, which is why I'm mentioning those ones. I don't really know that much about other altcoins, and most of them are scams, so I'd recommend doing your research first personally before you invest in them. Now, altcoins perform better in a bull market, okay? So that's one we talked about before, when crypto is the highest in demand, and they usually underperform severely in a bear market. So this is why it's best to buy and sell altcoins during a bull market, and typically stay away from them whenever possible in other market conditions like a bear market.